there's just different ways of representing an algorithm. You could give me code for it. You could go through a running example. You could give me a DFA or a Turing machine for it. You could give me some higher level of abstraction. Here's code. I personally find it very hard to read somebody else's code, right? If this code is so short and so easy, it shouldn't be hard to figure out what it does. But still, I bet you if I didn't tell you that it was insertion sort, you would have a hard time figuring out what it does, right? All right, so what are the pros and cons? Pros, it really runs on computers. Precise, succinct. Students believe that it's all you need to get a job, right? I don't think that's true. All right, cons. I personally am not a computer. I personally need a higher level of abstractions. Codes are prone to bugs. It's language dependent. All right, so that's here. Now people want me to trace out a concrete example. All right, so here I'm going to trace out an example for you. There's some numbers. I move them around. Okay, was that good? What did you learn? Well, it's concrete, it's dynamic, it's visual, but, well, what are the cons? It relies you to figure out what went on. I just moved numbers around, right? You still need a proof of why does it work in that example, and you certainly need a proof of why it works for every possible input, right? Here's a DFA, or we could give you a Turing machine. What are they good for? They're good for theory, and we're never going to do it in reality. What high level understanding? Well, that, a brain is where love comes from. But if you want to talk about love, you don't talk about the firing of neurons, right? If you want to talk about how your computer works, it really works from AND gates and OR gates, but we're going to talk about algorithms at a much higher level, right? So what are the pros? More intuitive for humans. I like to think about it as if you were standing on a subway, how would you actually talk to a person, right? Or more, if you were dreaming, how would you actually talk to your subconscious, right? It's a useful method for how to think about algorithms, how to design algorithms, how to describe algorithms. And it's a view from which you don't later have to, I'm not talking about later proving that your program works. I'm talking about, we talk about it in a way so that we know it works, right? Why do students not like it? Well, it could be a lot of mathematics, but that's why I allow you to have pictures. It could be too abstract. Well, I don't know. It's not so bad. Don't fight me, right? The students who resist me get 0 on the first test, right? So that is our slides, right? And this just says, take something complex and say what's simple about it. All right.